Are we talking about Dang on Spotify?
Well, the
Yes, we should.
theoretical time when perhaps we might receive.
While I was logging in, I got a Twitter notification from the BTS account that says, I thought it said something about dang. It said danger. I just can't read very good. I was so excited for half a second.
Manifesting Dang on Spotify.
One dang. He was dang.
Okay, there we go.
Here.
How's everybody doing?
I'm
good.
You know,
He was dang already. Dang.
I don't have a red spot. I just have a cold and a lot of tissue.
it's been a day. But I did get some good news before the live, which increased my mood considerably. So
That is good.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
yeah. So, you know, the day was most of the day I was like Eeyore, and then like 10 minutes ago I was like, okay. Okay.
That's fair.
That's good.
No, my sister and her husband have been staying here for the last 3 days, and she had to leave today.
Oh.
And it was a real, like, I was like, oh, we're having so much fun.
Interrupt our live today.
She's like, what are y'all talking about? I'm like, maybe.
It's not that kind of thing.
Nothing.
Hilarious.
Chill.
Nothing to see here.
Be cool, honey bunny.
Move along. We're walking, we're stopping.
It's the fuzz.
Let's see. Yes, Doc will not be joining us tonight. She has some family plans. I am probably going to leave after the news because I'm not feeling so hot.
Aw.
You're stuck with the rest of us.
Yep.
Yes.
Joy. What joy for you?
Finishing my Klondike bar.
I need to clean my
Oh,
glasses.
yum.
That looks really tasty.
I have a bunch of these little, how do you say it? Brock's candies. They're like the peppermint
From the
nougat
olden
thing.
days.
Yeah,
see
like
that.
the Christmas trees.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do I get
It's kind of good, but it's also kind of like congealed toothpaste, just a little bit. You know, the toothpaste that's like
You're not
like
selling
on the
this
tip.
very well.
That you
Yeah.
gotta peel off and throw it. Yeah.
Kind of nostalgia flavor. It's that holiday nostalgia flavor where you're like, there's better peppermint candy out there, and I could be enjoying it right now, but also this is really festive. So
But it's like I can't stop eating them. I've had like 15 of them in the last 20 minutes, so it's like whatever.
is it bad, or do you just want it to be bad, but it's not?
I think it's good. I think I'm gonna give 2 thumbs up to these.
Okay.
Go ahead. Not sponsored, by the way, everybody. We don't have sponsors.
Rocks, if you're listening. I mean, they are ads. This is your target audience.
There you go.
Yep. Give us something. Give us something
Anytime.
soft and chewy, because you know how we got those teeth issues when we get to a certain age.
with
You know.
Tim Taehyung. He loves Christmas.
Yep.
I'm just saying we can make something purple.
No, keep the little Christmas trees. Christmas tree, make it upside down like a little V.
I'm
It's
saying
perfect.
we could do a line for Taehyung and Christmas, but then we could also do like a BTS Army line.
That's fair.
Put some calcium in it too. We really need some of that.
Some calcium,
That would be good.
I could use some estrogen.
some calcium, some iron. You know what? Let's just make it a supplement. Let's just make it
That tastes good.
And throw in some THC while we're at it. Just
THC would be real
Why
nice.
not?
Real nice.
Oh my god.
makes sense.
By the way, I might start New Yorking
call
because
us.
somebody. I'm gonna start New Yorking today because somebody was doing fireworks 5 minutes ago. So
For what's fireworks on December 15th?
I don't know.
days early. Why?
It's just New York. They're crazy. They're actually forbidden, and I don't know who the heck is doing fireworks on December 15th.
I'll see. In the South, they're forbidden, but it's fireworks all the time, every time. Like Tuesday, fireworks.
We in our old house, we had somebody who was just lighting fireworks like 7 or 8 p.m. random days of the week.
Yeah.
All year. The only thing we could think is that it was like a reward for their kids doing homework or something. So we're like, this is really weird.
Who knows?
Mm.
I mean,
That's
there
awesome.
There was somebody in my neighborhood that during the pandemic will ring a siren that looks like we were going to be bombed by someone
Oh.
every day,
Wow.
like three
Okay.
times a day.
That reminds me, I was listening to another group's album that came out this week that I won't say because I don't want to get in any trouble. But like, I listen to other music, guys. It's okay. And yeah, I was listening.
I'm
And
appalled. I'm
siren.
appalled.
There's a
Oh,
siren
no.
in the song, and I was like, when will we finally ban sirens in songs? Because I was driving when it happened, and I was like,
Ah,
I have always wondered the same question. They should be illegal.
yeah,
Yes.
like because it's like a long drawn out siren too. So I'm like looking around for the fire truck. I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes I don't hear them, and then when I do hear them, I really hear them. I'm like,
Yep.
Which became incredibly annoying, like ringing a siren. Like
wow,
every,
yeah,
we could
very
do it.
annoying.
I was like, can you just eat it and leave us alone?
But all kinds of music does that too.
Yes,
Like people, like all kinds of artists do it. I'm like, I don't understand why. Have you guys never feared a siren in your life? Have you? I feel like that's not true.
Give somebody a heart attack.
I know, right?
yeah. Like I'm about to careen off the side of the road trying to look for this vehicle. Doesn't freaking
And then
exist.
there really will be sirens.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
wearing my happy hag today.
Aw.
Yes,
So
happy hag.
change of subject really quick, but I was just on the Bird app looking for the news, and I saw the cutest tweet.
oh good.
A lady said, I couldn't decide for my Christmas tree to put a star or an angel on top, so I just put both. And she put a picture of all 7 Bangtan guys up on the top of the tree.
I saw one I've been meaning to do that somebody was like, I put an angel on my Christmas tree. It's just Jimin.
Yep. Just Jimin.
Oh, God.
I'd be very tempted.
Freaking
I
get
don't actually
me.
have a topper for my tree, so I mean, I could.
I have several Bangtan members on my tree, but the top of my tree is still a bird from last year.
I'm too lazy to do a tree this year, I think.
I mean, if this tree had not remained up for the entirety of the past year, it would not have gone up.
Yeah.
It's just still there. It's just still there.
I still have to do my tree.
Ornaments to it.
I'm so glad that you saw good things on Twitter because I logged in to find the news and fell down such a hole of badness that I was like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that I'm like used to that in the sense that I can ignore it, but it's, I've been really heavy into Twitter for like 6 months now. And
I think
I don't know.
I haven't been on
Anytime
Twitter.
though, guys. She can stop anytime though. It's not a problem.
No, I think I hadn't been on Twitter in a few days, and I think like when you take time away from the app, when you come back, it bombards you with stuff that makes you want to stick around. Like it knows,
Right. Right.
so it's showing me controversial stuff, and I was like, nope, I'm not today. You will not get me.
Right.
Not today.
But I have also been trying to spend more time on the Blue Sky app, and that's a lovely place.
so lovely there.
It's a lovely place. People
There's
are,
getting to be too many.
Light and free.
yeah, I mean there are a lot. I mean, you need, if you're going to check all your social media, it's going
It
to take
takes-
you a little while.
Yeah. I mean, Threads, Blue Sky, X, Facebook, TikTok. Is that all of them? YouTube.
Your mom and them.
Your mom and them. Yeah.
Move on.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
What we doing? How the hell is everybody?
How is everybody? How are you guys doing on this Sunday? December.
The year is ending. The year is ending.
It sounded almost.
It's the week before Christmas, so I feel like nobody should ask me to do any work at my job. Like everybody should be shutting down. Like even if we're there.
No,
I agree.
work should be slowing down by like December 5th,
Totally.
and it should
Yes.
basically cease to exist by tomorrow.
Can you send a letter to my boss
Second
about
half
that?
of the month. The second half of the month is that nebulous time of the month where nobody knows really where they're coming, whether they're coming or going, or
Yep.
things don't.
Yeah.
Nothing.
From tomorrow until about January 10th is just time soup.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, you
And then
think
wake up and realize it's winter.
done. You think you can get things done, but you can't really get things done. because everyone's in various forms of being on vacation or preparing to go on vacation or having returned from vacation and still have
Or
vacation.
hangover, Christmas parties,
So nothing
Christmas
really,
shopping at work.
nothing really gets done within these next 3 weeks, except for an internet project about BTS.
That's
Exactly.
you don't quit.
That's true.
That's right.
It's exactly right.
Absolutely right.
Stephanie
He's
was
never
waiting
stopped.
for somebody to say it. She was waiting. Yep, except if you're going to start a project about
Beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
You know what, though?
You
know
didn't
what,
know.
though?
That's what you stumbled into. Us.
Us.
Our
I
favorite
still wish
episode.
we would have like videotaped all of it, because I still can't even believe it happened. I can't remember how it happened. Like I have it's like I blocked it all out of it.
I do, but I also don't for reasons,
Yeah.
which we all know.
Right.
Right. True. We need some editing skills.
There would be editing. There would be editing. But yeah. There would probably just be a lot of us going,
I signed up for what now? What am I doing? What did I say I do?
I'm just.
okay,
Something like that before.
Yeah.
sure, let's do that. Just a lot of that.
Uh-huh.
Okie doke.
Yes, and also seeing in the comments, we had some we have a group of gals in Idaho who meet up every week and hang out with each other, and they had a Christmas party yesterday, and they gifted each other some project merch. Which thank you
Oh,
guys.
that's cute.
Very fun.
Also, I don't know if you guys have been in our server, but people have been doing some shit that we have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't seen today's yet. I need to see it.
There's been some chicanery happening in our Discord server. In our Discord server, various project members have been putting together, I don't know what, some sort of. I mean, they've been very nice, like daily tributes. I think we've had Stephanie, Patricia, and Christina so far.
Yep. They're very cute.
Oh, good
And
morning, Finland.
The event has my glasses on it today, so I'm assuming that I'm happening tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
You are happening, Quinn.
Well, I missed the first two because I thought it was like a private watch party or something that I wasn't invited to. And I was like, I'll just stay out of that.
We even talked about it in the admin thread because I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I had no idea.
I actually got like snuck on yesterday by M, who showed up in the board lounge and told me, "You have to check this out, Patricia."
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I mean, Patricia and I were minding our own business with some of the 529 line, rewriting the 12 days of Christmas to the 12 days of Bangtan. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
I can't wait for that record to come out.
Oh,
No, you don't. But
I need that LP. Are you going to have snowflakes on yours too?
I'm going to tell you
Aw.
something. The
Gonna
best
arm
part
bomb
of it
them.
was number 5. 5 Day of Christmas is 5 Yoongies.
I wish. I would take one menu
handle
at
the
this
one.
point.
I can't even handle the one, please.
Ah,
I mean, it's kind of appropriate because if it's 5 golden rings and everybody's asking him to marry me, Yoongi.
You couldn't handle more than one,
There you go.
please.
it all ended up with "and a cookie in a pear tree."
love
We
it.
should have said banana tree though, maybe.
As it should be. Did you go in fan chant order or just as you could come up with shit order?
No, we did go in fan chant order, but
Okay.
we ran out. And the last part of the song became this nebulous soup that we had a lot of problems with. But the first 7 are really solid.
Okay.
You know what? I feel like I already wrote one a long time ago.
I feel like you did.
Oh,
I think somebody did.
I think we should have a
I'll say-
contest.
I have to look through.
Yeah, if people could come up with better things for like 8 through 12 than we did, I think we were really inspired because we got to 11, and 11 is like 11 pipers piping, and we were like, well, they can still fucking Pied Piper.
Exactly.
11 pipers piping.
7 Bongtons.
I did. Piping. 11 piped piping.
Leonard piping.
And 12 was 12 armies cheering.
12 armies cheering. Yeah, we ended with armies. Well, it was 7 Namjoons rapping, 6 Jinza cheating, 5 Minions, 4 dancing povies, 3 Jimin cheese, 2 Tata mics, and a cookie in a pear tree.
Very cute. Very cute. And that's all we got for tonight, boys and girls.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Show's over, people.
Every time I hear the "You're Welcome" song from Moana, all I can think of is
Anytime you want to hear a holiday song partially rewritten by us, come back. We won't have done it, but it's fine. You can come back.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, it's Sunday.
What do we got?
Let's see. We've got the agenda up. Welcome. You guys have found us. Congratulations.
Here.
Army
We're
Project
not.
529. Yep. You're here. We're not.
No, you said congratulations, and I was like, or not.
But also, you're here. We're not.
Hi.
I see a note here about the Tiki Takis. Did anybody want to talk about that?
I will. Okay. Should the tiki talkery disappear, as the rumors are stating here in the United States, just go to ap529.com/links. We are everywhere else. You can pretty much find us everywhere else, and we will just pick up on all those other platforms. YouTube would probably become the main place for our lives, which is where we're doing Wednesday night lives now anyway. So the only thing that would change would be Sunday nights. We all have our social media individually, so you'll still have more than enough of us, and you can always join us in the Discord. So
I think
we will not be here, but we're not going away.
I think we're pretty much all on Instagram, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we're all on Instagram. We're all on Discord.
Most of us are on Twitter.
Yep.
It will be but a minor bump in the road.
Yep.
A minor hiccup.
Yep. So you aren't getting rid of us that easy, people.
Others have tried.
Yep.
Trust us.
Not happening.
Others have failed.
Others have tried and failed.
Not happening.
Yep.
All right. So, as usual, and forgive my voice, guys. Somebody said we will be where? We will be every social media platform but this one.
Yep. Most of our time will be Instagram and YouTube, probably.
If it goes away.
Yeah, if it goes away. Yeah.
Then
And if it comes back, we'll be back and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Okay, so I say this every week. I'll say it again this week. If you like what we do, including our shredded version of the 12 Days of Bangtan, and the blog, and the Discord, and the lives, and the meetup, and what else do we do? What am I not thinking of?
merch.
Merch. If you like what we do, and you like hanging out here, and you found some friends, and you found some community, and you have the means to support the project, please do. The two primary ways you can do that are through our Patreon, which is patreon.com. If one of the mods can type that out, because it's a funny spelling. You can subscribe there monthly for $3, $5, or $10 a month. Each tier comes with some different benefits. The top tier comes with a benefit where you get access to a private Discord channel with the 6 of us. And yeah, we really appreciate it. We did have some new signups this past week. People were feeling very generous. So huge shout out to our most recent signups, including Chark Mommy. I don't know if she wants me to use her real name. Deb C, Binsky, Anne, Die424, Ta Snoopy, TA Snoopy, Kim F, Eva S, Therese S, and Lori C. So thank you guys very much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other way you can support is by buying our merch, which mostly Christina and I design. All of the designs are stuff we make in-house. Sometimes we bounce ideas off of each other. Christina and I are usually the ones with the mouse on the pixels. So yeah, you can see that at ap529.com/shop, and we will remind you again at the end of the live. So thank you guys so much for signing up, and yeah, look forward to having you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
Yay.
It's JINCEMBER. We are deep in JINCEMBER, everyone. Kim Suk JINCEMBER, if you will. Also, look, I painted my nails. Aren't they pretty? That's
that's great.
Oh, pretty.
These are my real nails, by the way. Anyway, it's JINCEMBER, you guys. We're about to hit week 3 of JINCEMBER. We've been having a ton of fun. Going through everything, and some of it we're actually hitting all the content that like literally just happened, which is fun. It's like just recycling in my brain, but like talking about it in a different way. It's kind of cool. So this week was it was everything leaning. It was last few years leading up to Jin's enlistment. So it was basically like 2019 through 2022. We talked about the astronaut in the blog this week. We had a lot of fun at the watch party. And yeah, next week is going to be his homecoming. So I know it just happened, but let's relive it.
I was making the playlist today for YouTube, and you had me going through. You had to add all that stuff, all the commercials, and all. And I was just like,
yeah. It's been real hard. All of the brand ambassadorships and the partnerships and the magazines. And
heavenly. He's called WWH for a reason, people.
Yeah, and I was like, I just got to a point where I said, he's pretty. Look at him.
Yep, look at him.
He's pretty.
Jesus. Yeah.
I don't know what you want. He's pretty.
As if you could look away.
Right?
Yeah.
He's been real busy. He's been, which why next week, well, I'll tell you guys at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. Anybody want to take the next ones? Or you want, Patricia, you want to take the next ones?
There's no live on Christmas Day because we will all be celebrating Christmas. So we won't see you today.
Yeah.
If you do, if it's your thing.
We will be live on New Year's Day because it's our anniversary.
Anniversary 529.
1 year.
We'll be celebrating, and we still don't know what we're going to do, but we'll probably improvise something in the last minute, and it will be fun.
Yes.
Yep.
Taehyung's birthday is
We
coming
have
up.
to stay on brand.
Yeah.
Of course, because we always plan birthdays in the last minute, so that's what we do. And that's what we will do for our birthday.
Yes.
It was suggested that we might do like sugar and do whatever you ask us to do,
What's that?
but don't make it
Did we say that?
because you know the rule. The rule is don't make it
Don't make
weird.
it weird.
Any weirder than we make it.
Interesting thought.
Yeah. 1 year, people. 1 year.
1 year.
We got
1 year
we'll
ago.
start thinking about that. Yeah.
1 year ago, the 6 of us barely knew each other.
Yeah.
And we were like trying to figure this thing out.
I was reaching out to Patricia and being like, hey, do you want to join this? And she was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, except hold on. I locked myself out of my apartment. Also,
Yes.
I leave tomorrow for Spain. So
Yeah, for a month.
Hi.
2 weeks.
Yep.
It felt like forever.
The rest is
And
history,
then
as they
while
say.
I was away, I was having horrible FOMO, and Katie had a bat in her house.
yeah.
Right.
I still have the rabies certificate on my fridge.
I just remember Sean continually saying, "Okay, now what are you doing now?" And I was like, "I have no idea, but it's going to be great."
What are you doing?
Right.
Don't know.
Back to the space.
Don't know.
I guess we'll see. And
We didn't even like had in the plans to meet in person, and we actually did meet in
We did.
person.
we did.
We basically fucked around and found out.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. Yeah.
Often not, but sometimes it does.
Quick reminder for our newer Patreon subscribers and all Patreon subscribers, because they still don't have them. When you sign up for our Patreon, I am going to send you a message through Patreon asking for your Discord username. Please reply to that, because then I can give you access to what you should have in the Discord.
Yep.
Thanks.
A special channel.
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
So now that I talked that is our 1 year anniversary in this book club, because it's a book club.
Yes.
I think Katie can talk about the next topic.
So, yeah, a lot of you attended our meetup last year in Kansas City, and we've talked a little bit about it was great. We want to do it again. So we have already gone ahead and reserved the same hotel again. We talked about, again, the reasons we chose it, and it was mainly affordability for everyone. But yeah, registration is now open. The event is going to be July 25th through 27th, 2025, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So registration is now open. We had, and we plan to do in the future, a 3-day exclusive period for people who had previously attended. That's over now. So registration is now open to everybody. And we have sold about a little over a third of the available space so far. So
Amazing.
amazing. Yeah, and there are lots. So we had 2 types of rooms you could book. You could either book a king room if you want to stay by yourself, or a double room if you want to split your cost with a roommate. We have a lot of double rooms left. So if you would like to save on your costs, go ahead and find a roommate. Either send a DM to somebody you know, or in our Discord, we have a channel where you can pop a message and say, I'm looking for a roommate, and see if you can work it out.
This
The dates?
legitimately includes a discount, right? On
The
the
what?
room. The room block includes, like, it's a rate.
Yes.
It's
Yes. So we have signed a contract with the hotel to get you guys a discounted room rate and reserve a number of rooms. So yeah, you get access to that block, and it reduces your cost because you only have to pay for half the hotel room.
Yes. So please do that.
Lori, the official dates are the 25th through the 27th. Some people actually, most people are arriving the night before because they're starting early in the morning. And then some people are either leaving the night it ends or the next day. Just depends on your schedule. So yeah, if you think you registered, please make sure that you got a confirmation email. You should have gotten it within a minute or 2 of registering. And that confirmation email has your hotel booking link in it. If you did not get that email, contact us in Discord, because it means we don't have your information and we don't think you're registered. So please contact us to troubleshoot. What else? Yeah, and if you want information, go to our website, ap529.com, and it's under, I think it's under the Connect menu, and it just says Ma City Meetup 2025. Yep.
Yay, Pam. Well done.
Yeah, lots of people registered.
Yay!
Come have just elevator conversations. You'll find yourself suddenly in the elevator with all 6 admin members.
Yep.
You could just talk to us.
It's real.
Like a barefoot dock with confetti.
There's a dog with confetti. Exactly.
Or see us come down to the breakfast area real bleary-eyed, like before coffee, just getting our coffee and sitting there, and it's fun.
Stay with us like we're in a zoo.
And then, when you sit down and haven't even had coffee yet, they wake you up with a video of Jimin's little V-line.
Ooh,
I
yeah, that's
just-
classic.
I just passed along what was already there.
Yeah.
Blame him.
It was amazing.
Good times. It's good
Yeah,
times.
so thanks everybody. I'm not good at sounding excited, but yeah, we really are excited. We put a lot of planning into this.
Sounding excited.
I'm not. Like, I'm really not.
Why did Katie just sum up herself in once?
Katie.
Who's our I think our hype men are probably Steph and Doc, I would say, our hype men.
Patricia.
Yeah, and Patricia.
I'm good at a tactical strike. I'm not good at excitement.
I gotcha.
I'm bringing my orange tracksuit again.
Yeah, lots
Nice.
of shenanigans.
Yeah, for anybody watching, just know admin is already planning our costumes, so you guys better bring it when you're planning yours.
Yep.
Yes.
We had some
I'll just put on whatever they
outstanding.
tell me to.
Yes, Teresa, Mr. Lee should come again. I think he should be there the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
You should definitely be there.
Mr. Lee is needed.
Yep.
Yes, we have a
We
costume
We have to protect the stand-ups, you know? Like, they got assaulted several times, so we need to protect them.
That's right. Yes, so last year we had a costume contest. It was amazing. We're definitely going to redo that. And for those who didn't attend, after the event, we sent out a survey asking what were everybody's favorite and least favorite activities. And everything that made like top ratings, we're doing again. We don't know exactly which day we're doing it on yet. We'll get that information to you. But yeah, we had a costume contest. It was
Fantastic.
Oh,
It's on YouTube. You can watch it all on YouTube.
you can't.
Yeah, you guys are amazingly creative. It was some of the costumes were just so spot on. It was
It's not in
amazing.
this world. The attention to detail.
Yep.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Gretel was our winner. Shout out. There she is.
J-Hope.
She's in here.
She was J-Hope with the red suit.
J-Hope
Yep.
with the red suit. for Just Dance.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
That's why I said the attention to detail. She had the in-ears. She had everything. Like
The shoes.
the shoes, everything matched.
Everything.
Yep.
It was a tough decision though. Anyway,
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of really good
But it was tough. There were really, really good costumes.
Yep. It was good times. We'll have more good times.
Yep.
More to come.
Shall we move on
7
to our,
months.
to our news?
Oi. Go for
Okay.
it.
Do we have anything else?
So RM, we start with fan chant order as usual. So RM news. Last week, this is the last week of the documentary, and the last weekend in a lot of places, mostly in the US. I actually checked if I could see it in New York again today, and the only place where I could see it that was closer was Santa Fe. So no. There's a bunch of countries that have been added that are going to be showing it soon, including India, Jordan, a bunch of them. You can see them on the website www.rmrpwp.com, and I think we've all seen it already.
Yep.
Has everybody seen it? Yay! And some of us went with friends that we met in the Discord server, so that's great. What else? Yesterday, All Music included Namjoon's album as a favorite this year among the rap and hip hop albums of the year.
Oh, nice.
And it was the commentary that the thing that they said was like really kind of nice. They said the BTS leader's second album sees him dive deep into alternative, constantly shifting hip hop, embracing radical self acceptance and life's wonkiness, which I actually kind of
I like it.
Yeah.
Also, he posted on Instagram because Consequence.net proclaimed Damadachi one of the best songs of the year on number 82. And in the commentary was actually pretty good. It was like when Little Sim said at some point that Sims and RM, man, it don't get bigger. And they completely nailed it. Such a great song. Best track in the list of the best songs of the year. And I know that Lisa mentioned this on Wednesday, but we also got some letters, some correspondence, and then June started posting some of the letters he's been exchanging with some friends. One of them is Colde, who was with him on Hectic, and he also did a collaboration on Don't Ever Say Love Me. And this man sounds like a tortured, freaking romantic poet because he wrote one beautiful, beautiful line. You can find it probably translated on Twitter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I read part of it out loud on Wednesday. It was just the whole thing about the world being full of unfair things, but like the honest.
It was like, it seems that the world is full of unfair things where the pure and innocent bear more burdens.
Yeah.
The more honest and upright you are, the more you end up exposing yourself to those who wear thick masks and an armor of lies, which I think is beautiful. I mean, these guys are artists.
Yeah.
Who would like to get a letter from them?
I mean, I would.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
I would love to be pen pals with Namjoon. I'm just saying.
Where do you write to get that? Can you write to like Hive and tell them?
Well, just wait till he hears your 12 Days of Christmas, and then he's going to be reaching out to you.
Be chomping at the bit.
I mean,
we have to record it.
Don't get Leslie started.
Do we?
There's no choice. We're recording.
Okay, so Jen, I have to be honest. I feel a little bit like we were going 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden he just put on the parking brake, and we just smacked into not much this week. I mean, we had Jen with the toddler, which we talked about on Wednesday, which was everybody's, how do we survive that? We don't. And then they released Jin's Happy special behind the scenes, which was the most awkwardly beautiful thing I've ever watched in my entire life. I mean, that man, precious.
If it can be made awkward, then we'll do it.
Yeah. 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 It was something else. Everybody has seen it, right? Everybody has seen his like not knowing. Okay, here's my favorite part. My favorite part was when he said, "My staff told me that I have to look at her at least once during the performance, so I'm going to try my best." And I was just like,
Man,
"Oh dear God!"
you said that out loud. You said that out loud.
have to do it.
You could have just kept that inside, and we wouldn't have known that. But you said it.
Oh my God, it was so great. It was so great. And the thing that I love about her, which I could just see, I mean, she was so spunky about it all. I mean, she was just like, well, you're the awkward one, so I'll reach out to you. And I just thought she just was like, she was a lot of fun. She went really well with it.
She acknowledged that they were being awkward about it. And she was
She
like,
did.
it's what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, are we good? And she was like, actually, I'd like to do it again. And he was like, oh, okay.
Sure, whatever. We can do it 10 more times if you want. Yeah. And then he gives her flowers and she gives him bread, which I was like, okay, that's kind of perfect. Yeah. That was great.
He's like, I just really like bread. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like exactly something I would do. I just really like this bread, so I thought maybe you might like it.
In my head, I was just picturing if JK was there, he'd be like shoving Jen aside and be like, oh, I'll take that. Like, you know, like, I'll take the bread.
Gimme.
So we all know that he's releasing his iGen, which is going to be awesome. I may have to try that. And
Gin, by the way.
GIN, not JIN.
Yes. Way to go.
And they released the location, I noticed. So I'm sure it will be the next tourist spot in South Korea. Everybody will go look at the outside of that building and take pictures in front of it. I do want to mention, too, that not very long ago, I was up here working on the newsletter. My husband's downstairs watching football, and I heard Running Wild coming from the television downstairs. It got played during the NFL football game as they were heading into a commercial. And I was like, so proud.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was very proud. Very, very proud. Did somebody say something? Sorry.
Katie's muted. I think she was trying
to. All right, I was trying to make you guys not listen to my nose. Yeah, we got an Instagram DM about that today. I think it was after Asia reached out to us and was like, "Oh my God, Running Wild is playing."
It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. I was screaming, and Sean was like, "Oh yeah, really? That's cool." So anyway, it was kind of lost on him, but. And last but not least for Jin, DAZEDdigital.com listed the 50 best K-pop tracks of 2024 and included Another Level and Orange Growing.
Yes.
So.
Yay!
Saw that. Another Level. Props to Another Level. I freaking love that.
Yes.
As it should.
The song is a master. I mean, the whole album is amazing.
The whole album, yep.
Masterpiece.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, and then this week, I guess on Tuesday, we have him getting thrown to the ground and manhandled quite often, apparently, on Run Jen. So,
yes,
be looking forward to that.
More awesomeness to look forward to.
Yep.
Yes, we live for June's groin, so
we do. We do.
Listen, it's called priorities.
With that.
Yep. All the attention.
Okay, Christina, you're on.
Called priorities. Speaking of that, Suga. Min Yoongi. August D. D-Day by August D is the 21st most streamed album by a Korean K-pop act on Spotify with 1.13 billion with a B streams. And it is the 20th most streamed Korean album on Spotify.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations.
All of us here make up a large number of those streams.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
I make sure to listen to August D at least once a day. I'm on a him kick lately, but I'll, whatever, anytime anybody says we're trying to get X song, to whatever, then I add that to my playlist.
Like, I can't just go into I don't know, maybe this is just me. I can't just go into an album for like a particular song because my favorite song on that album is D-Day. And so I start at the beginning. And if I do that, it's over. I'm listening to the entire thing. Like it doesn't stop.
Right.
So like I don't, and it's the same thing if I'm listening, if I go into like Face by Jimin, because Face Off is my favorite song and it's the first song on the album. And if I'm there, I'm there. I'm in there for the whole thing.
Yep.
Well, that's the nice thing about them releasing these albums that have like 6, 7 songs on them, because you can listen to the whole thing and it doesn't take very much time to do it. So you might as well.
Yeah, for the EPs, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I loved that I was driving my son to school and he said, Mom, what did he just say? Because I'm driving and I have the music kind of low and it's, what do this shit and do you know about me? And I'm like,
Yes.
Yoongi. Anyway.
And I was also, before we move on from Sir Yungles, I was rewatching, it came up on YouTube, his interview on Jimmy Fallon. And I just got caught on that part where he's like introducing himself.
Yes.
And he's like, you can call me Augusti, or you can call me Suga, or you can call me or Yoongi. And then Jimmy's like, oh, but you have your name, you picked your name because of Stuttgart. He's like, shoot, and he goes, he just starts, and he's just like talking to himself. He's like, Suga. And I'm like, he's like not even answering the question anymore. He just says, Suga. I was like, I watched it like 3 times. I was like, you missed somebody. Or you just watching them say
His own name multiple times.
Watching them just
no reason.
Yeah, I really enjoy when I run across a TikTok or a Facebook reel or whatever of him introducing himself at his concerts. Where he's like, I'm Augustine or
Yoongi. Yeah, or Yoongi.
Yeah.
I stopped on one of those the other day and watched it like 3 times because I was like, I miss you.
We miss him so much.
I know.
It's
Right.
This is we are entering 2025 here very shortly. The year of Bantan, the year of the return. So
the year
They're
of
coming back, people. They're coming back.
yeah. Who's doing Patricia? Are you?
Okay. If you see the hashtag or phrase back to Blue Side on the social medias on Namjoon's internet, it's ARMY looking to achieve a #1 for Hobie on iTunes for US worldwide and world digital song sales for Blue Side outro, the version on Hope World on December 28th.
yes.
So play it a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Because remember, we got an extended version later, but that's not the version that they're talking about. They're talking about the first one, which was on Hope World.
Exactly.
and we have that added on our streaming charting voting webpage. People make the cards where it's just a link and then you click on it and it lists all the where to stream, where to buy, that kind of thing. So we have that all on our webpage coming up. And as we get closer to the date, December 28th, to do it, we'll start yelling really loud. But let's get that for Hobie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That would be really, really cool.
Maybe that'll bring him out a little bit and he can talk to us again, because I feel like we haven't seen him in a while.
He's doing stuff.
I know.
We know
He's
he's
preparing
busy.
stuff for us.
He's
I
busy.
feel like when we get to like the new year, we're gonna start seeing a lot of content coming out for him.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's about to be kidnapped.
Well, again,
I mean, yeah, we know that.
On Run Gin, yeah.
oh yeah, it's gonna air.
He's
It
about
already-
to be kidnapped.
It's gonna air. Yeah,
So get ready for that.
yeah.
I'm ready.
He's just busy doing stuff, and we're gonna see it soon.
Cool, cool.
Goodie.
Okay.
Jimin!
Jimina! Jimishi!
Struggling on the struggle bus. Okay. Jimin, Our friend Jimin.
Our friend, your friend, everyone's friend.
Everyone's friend. I'm sure he didn't even say that. Everyone's friend Jimin has gained over 3.2 billion with a B spot streams on Spotify in 2024 so far. This is his biggest streaming year ever.
Wow.
I also saw briefly before I fell into the black hole, I did also see, we'll have to see in a few days when it comes out, but based on the tracking, it's anticipated he's going to climb a few spots on the Billboard chart this week. I saw that.
Hell yes, women.
He's great.
Wow.
It's 20 something weeks after the song came out, and who is expected to climb a few spots. So hard work went into that. Also,
That's what you get when you're a little angel on earth.
that's right.
And you know, making really good music doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. And Jimin joins Psy, Gangnam Style, as the only Asian solo artist in U.S. history to exceed 1 billion on-demand streams as lead artist.
Lead artist, Jimin.
Woohoo! Jimin.
Keep going. If it was your goal to do well in the Western market, you are succeeding.
Jimin.
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, he's been very quiet, and we respect that. So we will just continue to report on how his music is doing.
Yeah.
Minchi.
Taehyung, you know, he's got songs out that are doing stuff, man. Doing stuff. Billboard. So Winter Ahead. Winter Ahead has. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, where are mine? Where are mine?
Yeah, I haven't got my winter ahead yet.
I haven't got my White Christmas, so
Yeah, I was about to say, I checked a couple days ago.
Winter Ahead with Park Hyo-shin has been declared on the 27 best winter songs for the season list by Billboard.
Oh yes.
And then Forbes wrote an article, which, if you guys know who actually wrote the article, this is amazing, because somebody whose name we don't usually say in ARMY circles, because he doesn't always write good articles about BTS. But this time he did. He wrote a nice article about how Taehyung has replaced Mariah Carey. replaces Mariah Carey's on the Christmas throne. #1 on the Billboard chart. So we celebrate her.
That's amazing.
Throning.
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
All we want for Christmas is stay young.
Kind of like that song, and you enjoy that song, you can continue to enjoy that song,
That's
but I'm
fine.
sure we all enjoy her being dethroned for at least a little bit.
Let's celebrate that. Yes.
Long enough. She's had that spot long enough. Somebody
Feels
else
good.
for a
All
while.
we want for Christmas is stay young.
So Taehyung and Bing Crosby, who never even walked the earth at the same time, have dethroned Mariah Carey.
Amazing.
Also, this is amazing. This just happened a few days ago. Love Me Again by V on Layover has surpassed 1 billion streams. Billion with a B
I listened.
on
I
Spotify. And it's his first song. It's his first song to reach this milestone. So we're really proud. Yay! Tay-Tay.
Hey.
Good job. So yeah, it's a good time for him. And White Christmas continues to do well. And the Crosby family is really like having fun with it, and they've been thanking armies. They've been sharing memes that armies have been making. Song. And like the whole Mariah Carey thing, they find it hilarious, and they've been sharing the memes and thanking ARMY for embracing it as much as they have. So let's continue to love on both of those songs and spread that good old holiday joy.
I love this tradition of like the Christmas time and winter and snow being like a Taehyung.
Yes, right? Isn't it a great
Yeah,
tradition?
yeah,
I think it's so cool.
yep,
It just makes sense with his voice too.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like, he loves it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
yeah, exactly.
time. It's like he's a winter bear. It's just, you know, it is what it is. It's his time, so we just got to roll with it.
Yep.
This works for him. I love the tradition. He always gives us something for the holidays. Jungkooky, our little maknae, not so little, but our maknae, has won top global K-pop song for Standing Next to You and top K-pop album for Golden at the Billboard Music Awards.
Okay.
Which just happened. It was like a flash in the pan. It came and it went.
Right.
Yeah. So congrats to him for that. Jungkook's Golden Vinyl, the vinyl, has entered the top 10 at number 9 on bestseller vinyl on Barnes & Noble's charts. So,
Right.
JK.
As it should.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
So pretty.
And it's available again. So if you haven't bought it and you still want to, they're really promoting it on BTS's official shops. So it's a good time to go in there and get it before it sells out again. And then Seven has become the first and fastest song by an Asian act to surpass 2.1 billion with a B again streams on Spotify.
7.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Again, that's another song that if I put Golden on and that song, I mean, there goes the whole album before I know what happened.
Yep. But if we karaoke, I think the song I'm going to pick is Yes or No for Jungkook.
Oh, that's a
We-
good song to karaoke.
Because I've been practicing that one in my car,
Nice.
so we'll see.
Nice. Good. That's a good pick.
Yeah. All right, let's do OT7. Are we ready? Okay.
Yep.
BTS's Proof album has received the BRIT Certified Gold status for selling over 100,000 units in the UK. This is their 8th album to achieve this. So
Done.
excellent work.
That's physical units, right? Physical units.
Woohoo! Yes. BRIT Certified Gold status for selling over 100K units. Yep, physical units.
Which, by the way, like that's hard to do these days. I remember like, back in the day, if you were talking like the 80s or the 90s, like people would be like, okay, having a gold record is not that unusual. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like people were always going for platinum or diamond. Like they were going beyond gold records. But now it's a really big deal because physical album sales are not what they used to be.
Right.
Mm.
But also, let's just remember too, when did Proof come out? Not this year,
Nope.
Right.
not last year. So, as we pick up new armies when they're not even here, they're buying these albums, which is so awesome. And I love the army tradition. I see a lot of people doing this. Well, they'll go into some store and they'll go through the clearance racks or whatever, and they'll find those BTS albums that are in the sales racks or whatever, and buy them and then post it. And I just think that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find that too. So, all right, let's do some more some streams. We've got these particular songs are close to 1 billion streams on Spotify. So once again, on our streaming charting voting webpage, we have some playlists that include these songs. So it's Love Me Again, Fake Love, Life Goes On, 3D, Permission to Dance, and DNA. So
Wow.
those are the songs that are close to 1 billion streams on Spotify. Yep. So again, we have playlists on there for those. And then this is the close to 1 billion list for views on YouTube. So these are the official videos if you want to give these a watch. And trust me, not a hardship because they are Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Dope, Fire, Save Me, and Permission to Dance. So those are the close to 1 billion lists on YouTube. And we have playlists on our webpage for those as well. So, and if Doc were here, she would say, remember to watch the official video all the way through. So it counts. And if you have premium accounts, those always count for more than the free ones, but free ones still count. So however you want to do that. And then finally, the BTS World Season 2 game is coming out December 17th. So there's a game YouTube channel that has been posting some really cute videos and shorts of the subunits. So far, we have photo albums of RM and Hobie, Jungkook and V, Jimin, and Suga and Jin, them posing for the pics, and shorts of phone chats with the members and some moving posters. So if you have been seeing those on social media, that's for the game that's going to be coming out on December 17th. And that should be really cool. We should have a Discord channel for that, not to make more work, but that would be a really cool.
We have a gaming thread.
Oh yeah, that's true. We do have a gaming thread. You're
That's
right.
right.
That would be well there.
Yeah.
So, and what I love are the passive aggressive tweets where people are like, "Hey, for all of you that want to act like BTS's managers, the World Season 2 game is coming out on December 17th.
That's amazing.
So if you want to be one of their
Those of you-
managers,
For those of
Just
you who want to tell
play
me
the
what to
game.
do.
for those of you that want to act like their manager, this game's for you. So download it and play it. Yay.
My life will finally have purpose.
I want
I
to play
love
it. But I think I might have to wait for a while because I feel like it's going to be inundated like immediately.
Oh, totally.
Oh, right.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Right.
Might have to wait for the initial wave to die down just a bit.
By the way, if you never got a chance to play BTS World the first time,
Which I did not.
Quince wrote a lovely blog, week 38 covers, in our blog, covers all about BTS World Season 1 the first time. And it's probably one of those things in BTS lore that you will see pictures and videos from BTS World, and you'll go, "What is this even from? This isn't a music video. It's usually from BTS World." So
Yeah. My favorite song is from BTS World soundtrack.
there you go. So check that out. Week 38 in the blog.
Yep.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right. Woo, that was news.
We did it.
We got through the news.
Mm-hmm.
Time for topical discussion. Look at us go.
Look at us go.
Hour. We did that in an
Talking
hour.
about this man. Are we talking about this man?
We are talking about that man.
I'm gonna bow out, guys. I will see
Bye.
you.
Feel better.
You feel better.
About
Everybody.
this man.
Feel better, Katie.
Oh, this man. You know what? I haven't opened this up. This is the Weverse version. I haven't opened it up. I'll open it up right now while we're talking.
Oh, I was going to say I have that one, but it's not the Weverse version.
Yeah, this is the Weverse version. So,
I'll take-
I'm gonna open it.
But this card might be in there. I don't know because it's from that version. But I can't remember if this was the exclusive one or I don't think this was the exclusive one.
Okay.
This is my favorite PC from Happy.
That's adorable.
Office worker.
So adorable.
Office worker Jin got me.
Office worker Jen is my jam for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. My Jin Jam. My Jin Jam.
Jen Jam.
Jin Jam.
What's your Jin Jam? Oh, by the way, don't forget there's confetti in there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, be careful.
Oh, careful with the confetti.
Oh my God. I have to do the thing like RM when he makes fun of us when we don't want to rip anything. Oh, there we go.
Oh, and he's like,
Yeah. Let's see. What PCs? Ooh. Okay. I got this one.
oh, yeah, I think I got that one too.
This one.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my God. Yes, you're right. That is just.
Yes, right? Isn't it?
Ah.
Good. That's a good one.
Oh, I have that one too. I have that one too.
I love it.
Good God. All right.
Did you try all the glasses?
Yeah, he just had a bunch of different kinds of glasses.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yep. Over.
I told you. We warned you about the confetti.
Hurry with the confetti.
It's fine. All right. Well, good. We're going to talk about it. I got my stuff.
So what's our topic tonight, Stephanie?
Oh, sorry, I was busy watching Christina. Okay.
We can still watch Christina while we talk.
Yeah. So today I wanted to kind of talk about, we've done a deep dive before into RM and into Jimin. I wanted to kind of do a deep dive into our WWH. I titled this talk More Than Just a Pretty Face.
Mm.
And so we all know the basics. We all know our man was discovered, basically on a street, got approached, which didn't scare him at all. Apparently I would have been running the other way. But anyway, and so we all know that story. We all know he moved into the dorm, started that whole process before he could even sing, like before he even knew he could sing. which is crazy to me. And so I just kind of want to go from there, and let's just talk about his journey, the transformation from really not knowing what his place was, trying to kind of figure out what role he would fill with the group, and where we are right now with him, and what do we feel like once he came back from military, who's the Jin we have now. Like, so let's just kind of spitball and think about out loud, what do we think about this whole journey that is WWH?
Well, the first thing that I always like to think about, and this was when I was first getting into BTS and didn't know anything about Korean culture or the language, and that I didn't understand what the big deal was about him being the oldest. And I didn't realize how that fit into, you know, the dynamic that he has within the seven. And from there, I started learning about, you know, the language and how when you meet people, you want to know what year they were born in and things like that. So he was really sort of my entry point to kind of starting to learn all about the culture and the language. So I'm always grateful to him for that. I also love one of my favorite quotes when he says, I think he was talking to JK maybe. He said, "You're so lucky that I'm your Hyung, the oldest one, and not Yoongi."
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he just, his whole tone of being the oldest and having that responsibility, but the way that he like carries that so well is like really cool. And obviously Namjoon is the leader, but Jin is very much, they defer to him as they should.
I talked about that in this week's blog, the different ways that they lead. It's like Namjoon very specifically leads BTS, and they defer to him for anything that has to do with the group. But Jin definitely leads them by example, which is hilarious considering his like different sides of himself, because nobody is more willing to act, and it is emphasis on the word act. No one is more willing to act a fool than Jin is, but he is not a fool. He is not a fool, and he's very smart and he's very observant. He knows how to read a room, and he knows what mood the room needs, and he will give it. And he constantly, like, he leads the rest, but he will do something first so that the others know that it is okay to do it, or he will say something to let the others know that it is okay to say that thing. He often has, from the beginning, even when he was still like, he's still shy, but even when he was like really shy and unsure of himself and like didn't think he deserved to be in the group at all, he still was insistent upon speaking out about certain things, and, you know, making sure that his fellow members knew that they could speak out for themselves if they needed to as well. And so that's what's really, really getting, like, as I've gotten to know Jin since I became an ARMY, and especially in going through this blog, that's the best thing that has really stuck out to me about Jin, is that he puts himself on the line for his members all the time, and for ARMY. He's always like, and it's that whole Hyung will do it first, and he means it. He means, even though, you know, like there's that joke of like, oh yeah, we love that Jin's the eldest because he's not really serious about it. He's not in that way that would make him an asshole like some people can be about it, which is kind of what they say, like that whole live with him and Jimin and Hobie, where Hobie's talking to the camera and he said, you know, they ask us like, would you rather have an eldest brother that follows all the rules, or blah, or would you like rather have an eldest brother like Jin? Basically saying that, like, Jin doesn't really act like an eldest brother, but he does in all the ways that are actually important. He doesn't act like a pompous, like, you have to respect me just because I'm older than you.
Right. And you absolutely could be arrogant when you look like this.
Yeah,
you could be.
Oh, totally.
I said in the blog this week that man could have coasted on his looks through life No
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, yeah,
But
it's
isn't
just that's
he?
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Don't you think something that plays into the way that Jin is that he's the oldest in BTS, but in his family he's the youngest?
He is the
Mhm.
He's the Matinee.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that he has been able to kind of like say, okay, at home with my family, I'm the youngest, but with this guys, I'm the oldest.
Mhm.
Like, for some people making that transition can be super hard
Yeah.
because it's like a whole different type of expectation. And I think that the way that he plays being the oldest one is because he's been the magnate.
Yeah.
He knows how hard it is to be the magnate. So he's probably kind of using that to be even more caring. I mean, like the other thing that you were saying is like he reads the room.
Mhm.
There's a concept in Korean, which you probably heard about. It's called nunchi, which is like reading the room. I think he is the master of nunchi. He like really gets it.
Yeah.
He can make the most uncomfortable because he's uncomfortable himself.
He's uncomfortable like all the time. So
And I've seen him in situations when he knows that the person that is with him is as uncomfortable as he is, and he's going to kind of like make it
yes.
be nice.
Mhm.
And
Throw himself on the altar of embarrassment to make
Totally.
some people feel
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
100%.
Like
that's
his
like
quote,
an
right?
ability that I kind of envy because I'm not able to do that.
But that's his quote. He said, "If we collect all of our embarrassment together, it'll become confidence." That's his. Like that's such a good way to think about it. You know.
I think he doesn't like to see them upset. So like even like on stage and stuff, like when JK's crying or when somebody's getting emotional, he's automatically going to pull out something funny. He's always because he just does. I just think he wants, well, like we know now, he wants everybody to be happy. He's going to do whatever he can to lighten the mood. He's going to make an ass out of himself as he has to. He's going to pull out the dad joke. He's going to do the hair, at the end of the concert so we can all smile. I mean, yeah, I would say that's one of the things I love about him, but I also love, and I did a video on this a long time ago, the thing I love most about him is that he loves the members very well. He takes very good care of them.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell that even now that he's gone. Not he's gone, not that they're gone and he's back. He jokes about it and everything's a joke, but I think even RM said in the film, in the documentary, when Jin left, he kind of lost his compass. That just shows, what Jin brings to the table, and he does it quietly, but I think everybody leans on him,
I remember that part during the Suluzu concert where one moment you see Taehyung just like leaning the fuck out of the car and like being an absolute idiot, and then the next thing you see is Jin holding him by his hair.
Yeah.
And Tae sitting like straight in the curly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The compilations of when he has to gather the other members when they're like kind of standing around like this, and he's like grabbing them by the backs of the shirts and pulling them along,
Dragging him along.
Time to go, right?
It's precious.
But that's that situational awareness that he's
Yes.
very, very tuned into,
Yes.
while some of them can be like really, wide eyed and looking at everything. And he's like, okay, we're done. We're going to wrap it up and we're going to go. So
Yeah, they jokingly refer to him as the dad sometimes, which it's like he gives them all money every year for their birthday.
right.
Money. It's such a dad thing.
Totally.
Grapes.
I love.
Somebody mentioned the grapes earlier, and I was like, that's another beautiful thing about Kim Sok Jin. Just a little, everything's a joke, but it's really heartfelt and meaningful. Like, who else would have showed up drunk at Jungkook's apartment?
I mean, he's the live crasher.
Yeah.
I mean, like he is like one of them is live. The door knocks. Who's in there? Who's there?
Yep. He's going to be there.
J-Hope, I heard you were washing your socks.
Yes.
I think he doesn't. I think for as solitary as he appears, especially playing the video games and stuff, I think when he has an option, he likes to be with them. I think he does. I think he likes to hang with them. I think he, you know, and I think I've seen since he's come back, especially because I didn't know him as well before he left. I was very new. I just feel like every time he talks about Army and appreciating Army and loving Army, I just feel like it's so incredibly sincere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can listen to an artist and they talk about their love for their fans, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I don't know that I buy this, and I like buy everything that he says. Like I just think that he truly, truly loves Army, and he truly, truly loves his brothers, and you get that combination together, and it's just a beautiful thing.
I think he really I think he really deeply feels he feels that he is lucky to be where he is, because it very nearly could have not happened.
Right. I was going to say he just happened to be getting on that bus at that moment in time. You know, like it just, you know.
Literally.
It didn't happen.
The big hit gods were there for
call them back this time because he'd been scouted before, and he didn't call them back before because he was much younger and he thought it was a joke.
Right.
And so this time he was like, well, maybe it's not a joke. And he was studying acting. So he was like, well, maybe I can get an in for like becoming an actor. So he was like, I guess I'll try giving them a call back this time. And it was real because he could have not called back, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and then he does that, and then voila, he can sing like that.
That was just luck.
Luck.
I mean, that was luck for them, for the company.
Yeah.
That he opened his mouth looking like he looks, and then opened his mouth, and they were like, well, holy shit.
They were like,
I know, like, more, please, more.
and that's when Bang PD walked into Namjoon and Yoongi's little tiny studio, and they were like, and he was like, we have to talk.
Yeah.
They were already, because Hobie with his dancing, they were already like, maybe we need to rethink this thing. But then they started hearing some of these vocalists that were hanging out, and they were like, maybe we need to rethink this group a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. They're saying in the comments they still want to see him. Riven said she still wanted to see him act. And so Lana says, can you see him in a drama having to kiss somebody? No, I think he would fall out on the floor, absolutely unable to do anything. I just can't imagine him. He can't even stand next to somebody on stage and
Like
look
a
at
fish.
him.
Flopping like a fish.
I think it'd be a really good side character. I think that he would be happiest. Not that he couldn't pull off a romantic lead if he really put his mind to it, because he could. But if he, had in his head he was acting, he could do it. But like, I think he'd be happiest playing some sort of like comedic side character.
Yeah. But they just need to put him and Yoongi in the same movie. Like Yoongi played, because Yoongi says, I'm not going to be killed off in the first 5 minutes. Just let them both make their appearance, and then, we're...
Yeah. I mean, he said he might change his mind. We never know. But he said right now he's not interested in acting. But he said, you never know how I'll feel in the future. So
you never know.
Maybe we.
Well, and I think it's interesting too, because one of the reasons, like whenever I've seen him talk about previously wanting to be an actor, it was partly because he felt like he'd get to live all these different experiences, and he's gotten to do that with making music. So I think part of the incentive for him to do that, I mean, really, what hasn't he been able to do?
Yeah,
I mean, he
he's
can do
acted
anything
in
he wants.
music videos. He's acted.
He's acted in music videos. He's acted in commercials. He's done, he's done all kinds of stuff, and he's traveled the world, and
I think that he probably would not want. I think, given the fact that he finds his downtime so precious, which as like an introverted extrovert or an extrovert, I don't know what it is. I'm like on the cusp, but I'm like slightly more introverted than I am extroverted. I understand. I mean, I think we all do. Like when your battery gets down, it's you need that time, and I think he finds his time very precious, and I don't think he would want to add more to his schedule. That's like kind of sort of what he already does.
Right.
Not the singing and the dancing. He gets that same kind of fulfillment from being in BTS and doing his solo stuff. So
well, and because here's the other thing, let's face it, he could have come back from the military, and I'm sure he had every offer under the sun. But what he chose was variety type shows where he could be himself and have fun and joke around and whatever. He didn't choose acting. He didn't choose that route, and he could have. And I think that says a lot about just because you could do something doesn't mean you would enjoy doing that something, right?
Yes, exactly. Just because you would be good at something doesn't mean you have to do it. Like people who are like, "Oh, you're so tall, you should play basketball." Just because somebody's tall doesn't mean that they want to play basketball.
Right.
You might be entirely uncoordinated, but very tall. Why would you play basketball?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and plus, I think, for him too, I mean, once those guys come back, it's good. They're going to be, I mean,
bam, baby.
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
like, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like, to Lana's point again, talking about Run Jen and stuff, I really feel like, and I think part of what, again, maybe partly because that's why he became my, my wrecker, but I feel like he was like, Army has missed us so much. They've had to deal with us being gone for so much. And I think he's so touched that Army stuck around. I think there really was a fear that maybe they wouldn't and we wouldn't. And we did. And I think he has he's so grateful. And he has such an appreciation for Army that like, he's like, whatever they want, that's what I'm going to do. Like if they want something, I'm going to do it. And like, he is like,
I mean, did you see him get off that merry-go-round and staggering because he couldn't even walk straight?
Yes.
He would do anything for Army.
He really would. He was like, let's go twice around. Yeah, instead of once.
1,000 hugs. 500.
Down to 1,000.
Yeah.
He probably would have, yeah. If it weren't
like, we're done? I could have done 3,000 more. Come on.
I think that Army statement, and I'm not going to get it right because I don't remember, but I know that he referred to it. It was the girl who was waiting for him during the torch thing. And they interviewed her about, you've stood here for so long and da 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 da. And she said, I waited for him for 18 months. I can wait for him for 6 more hours. I think that quote, the fact that he brought it back up, but I think that whole mentality kind of surprised him. And I think it helped put things into perspective of how we saw, like, we've been waiting for you. We would wait for you as long as we have to.
Yeah, I was rewatching. So in preparation for this week's coming blog, I was rewatching all of his monthly messages from while he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And in the very first one, he said, I'm doing this so that you guys can still, you think of me sometimes. Like, you don't have to think about me.
Right.
But if you want to think about me sometimes, you can watch the think about me. And it's just like, I mean, like, you could tell, like, he really thought he didn't want to be like presumptuous and be like, think about me all the time. But he was like, but if you want to think about me.
If you want to, yeah.
Whatever. They always do that to us. Ta-da-ta-da-ta-da-da. Yeah, okay, yeah, we won't think about you. We'll go off and live our lives. Whatever.
Piper's piting.
Well, he obviously thought of us because he made plans all ready for him to come out. I mean, with the 1,000 hugs and the whatever. So he, he wanted the gesture of his return to be special.
Yeah. So, like, to your point, Steph, I think that, like, he's taken that knowledge and he's not quite the Kim Suk-jin that went into the military. He's a little different now.
Yeah.
The man has a little bit more of a different kind of, I would say, pep in his step, confident pep in his step now.
Uh-huh.
So funny because people were saying before he came back, everybody online was like, Kim Suk-jin's going to slap down your Delulu.
Right.
He's gonna come back. He's going to get everybody in order. He's going to, tell Army off for being so crazy and thirsty while he was gone. And what does this man do?
Feed our Delulu.
He fed our Delulu from day one.
Yep.
By, I will hug all of you. More of you. I would hug more of you if I could, but the company said no. I will hug as many of you as I possibly can with my own arms. And then, subsequent things. I'll create my own little dating sim video on YouTube. Yep. And you guys can enjoy that. I'll go game and make noises that you don't normally hear in videos that you watch without headphones.
Do you think part of it too is him coming back and knowing he had us to himself? Like he was carrying sort of, nobody else had to carry us alone. Like everybody else, there was already there was like even the last ones that went in, the four of them were there together. They had us together till they left together. Jin came back and had us alone for a period of time.
He's Army's getting a taste of how he takes care of the McNays.
Yeah.
It's like he is like literally like throwing himself to us.
Yeah.
Because he knows that we are starved. So he was like, I'm gonna record all this content. I'm gonna do this and this and this and this. And he's like nonstop putting things out. And it's because he knew that we were starved.
Yeah.
So he's feeding us.
Yeah.
Like he will feed the McNays.
Yeah.
He's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like maybe it was like a kind of a fake it till you make it kind of thing where like at first when he came back he was like he just threw himself into it because he was like I gotta do this, like this is what
right.
Army. And then as the months have gone on, I think he's bought into his own hype, and I don't say that in a bad way. I mean it
right.
I mean like he's like, oh shit, they like this, okay, here we go, I'm here for it. You know, and like he's got all these like brand dealerships and like fucking carry the Olympic torch. Just
to go cook on an island somewhere. I'm gonna go. Yeah, like so much stuff that he's done.
Like I can do all of this. I can do all of this, and they want to see me do it, and they want to watch me do it, and they're enjoying it. I think Run Jin has boosted his confidence. I think it's all of this stuff. They were saying it over and over and over again. We heard it on like all their episodes of Suchwata. And they said it in many different places. But like they all needed this time to be away from BTS and do their own thing in order to become better, like for each other, to become better for themselves and to grow and to learn. They were using the term find their colors, their unique colors. They kept using that term, and I think, and this is Jin's time because he didn't have that time before he went into the military. So this is his time now, and
right
before. I mean, I also don't you think like the guys were like telling him you had to take care of Army while we're away, so he took the job very seriously.
Well, sure.
Basically, like said, you know what? If I'm taking care of them, I'm taking care of them. You know?
Yeah, but he's like, but it's going to be my way.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, the company wants you to. I don't care.
I don't listen to the company.
I don't listen to the company. No. Don't come to me with that.
Entertainment.
The amount of times that he's actually said those words, but he's also like very subtly been like, yeah, fuck those bitches. Like over the years, like, I mean, literally just him standing in a hotel room in the middle of their like Love Yourself tour and being like, they told me not to dye my hair.
So here we go. Wrapping on the gloves.
And he created an epic look that will go down in history. And
Jen, man, he did it himself.
Yep, he did it himself.
Yeah, just like amazing, and I mean, all these other times that we've talked in the blog before. And we've talked about various things with Jin. Like he's not dumb. He's very smart. He remembers things forever. Nobody will hold on to something like him, like Kim Seok-jin does. Mm-hmm. But like as I said, it's a great way. It's a great tool for like sticking up for himself. Like way back in the day, like you remember what was it? Was it Rookie Kings when they did that thing where they went up on the roof of the building of Big Hit and they were like,
oh yeah, the pig on it.
Grievances. They're yelling out their grievances to each other, and he gets up there and he's yelling at one particular manager who keeps telling him that he needs to lose weight and that he's fat. And he's like, you called me a pig. And the manager's like, and he's like looking at him, and the manager that he's talking about is more like is bigger than he is. Obviously that guy's not an idol, but it's just kind of like if you live in a glass house, you know, don't throw stones kind of a situation. But he's like, you called me a pig and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, years later, he gets asked in an interview. He goes, and he goes, I'm pig. Oink, oink. So he doesn't forget.
And
No.
Namjoon says, yeah, we're 6 humans and a pig.
Well, as he said on Sexual Time with Sugar, he forgets what he feels like doesn't serve him well, which is something that I wish I could do. I cannot. I forget nothing, or at least nothing bad. And I mean, if we could all be like him and just kind of leave the bad stuff in the past and move on and learn from it, but just move forward like that, I think that's again what kind of helps the team, where you've got more of a very serious Aru and a very serious Hobie when it comes to a task. You have this other side of Jin, I think, who's probably able to be like, calm everything down, make the joke of it, liven it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's such good, almost like guideposts on both sides there, you know?
He said that to Yoongi in Shiwata. He was saying, you're finally, if you're doing that, if you're forgetting about the stuff that you don't need anymore, then you're finally doing what I told you to do, which is you got to let that go.
Right.
And I remember, and Yoongi was like,
There's this live with Jimin where he says that like Jin has taught me a lot of things about how to live my life and how to be happy. I think that all of them kind of appreciate that from him. That he's like the one that has figured out how to be happy.
Yeah. And it's a simple thing. And I'm sure that, and I said that in the blog this week, that like, is he like that 24/7? No, it's not possible. It's not actually possible to be happy 24/7. You know, that's not a realistic goal. And nor do I think that Jin is, nor do I think that he means that we should be happy 24/7 no matter what. Just like what Steph was saying, is like his thing was like, his thing is, you know, is this going to serve me wanting to be? Like, is this going to serve like, you know, goodness for my life or something like that, you know? And if not, then he's not interested in it. Which isn't to say that he does what he has to do. And if there's hardship to endure, he will endure it. But he takes his lessons from it. But then he kind of leaves the bad feelings about it behind. He doesn't forget what he learned.
Right.
And especially if it can help somebody else. But he said he kind of tries to leave those bad feelings behind, which I do think is really something that is important to strive for.
So if that's the case, when you're speaking about bad times and whatever, let's talk a little bit about Mama and the Mama Awards and the speech that nobody expected for him that day, that night.
In 2018.
What do we think? I think I'm shocked that of all people, he was the one that brought it up, or that it got brought up at all, but then he did bring up the possibility that they had talked about disbanding. What do you think brought that on from him? Like, what do you feel like? Do you think it was just, hey, I'm always honest with Army and I'm going to tell him where we were? Or like, what do you think?
I'm not sure. It's difficult because a few of the members spoke before him. And like he was the last one to speak. And like Hobie spoke, and Hobie had like broken down. He was like sobbing when he was talking. So it was clear, and Taehyung had talked and he had cried. And Jimin had talked and tried really hard. Like the hardest I've ever seen anybody try not to cry. And he was successful. He was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cry. But like, you could tell that they were upset. And it wasn't like we're so emotional because we won this award upset. It was like, no, there's clearly something more going on here. And so I don't know if he had planned to say something beforehand or if he made the decision in that moment after watching the others speak and being like, well, Army's probably going to wonder what's
going on.
Yeah. So, but I think that he definitely wanted to clear it up at that moment and like also express his gratitude to them. Because I think Jin this is pure speculation on my part, people. This is pure opinion, okay? What I'm about to say is that I think that Jin was probably one of the people firmly in the camp of not disbanding. That is just my opinion. I don't think that he ever really seriously wanted. I don't think he was one of those people that really thought about it. I think he thought about it for the sake of the others, but I don't think he wanted that for himself.
Right.
That's just opinion. That's just
Well,
opinion.
but he has said if we ever broke up, I'd go off and do something completely different. So
Yeah.
it's not like, you know.
Yeah. So with that thought in my brain, I think he really did want to take that moment to express his gratitude. Like they came through it. Like they worked it out, and realizing how much they loved each other and they loved their fans, they figured it out and they decided to keep going. And he said that he wanted to thank them, and Army, of course. But like, I think he just knew that if he didn't say something, it would be a lot of speculation.
Right.
Again, opinion, so, but that's why I think, I don't know, but given again that he was the last one to speak, I don't know if he had pre-planned that or if he planned it in the moment.
Right. Well, if and I see people in the comments saying that he talked about that in Shiwata. He did. And if you fast forward to the part in the episode where J-Hope shows up, he's talking when J-Hope joins. That's what they're talking about. And he does say in there, the translation is that he said that he brought it up in his speech because it was, quote, in the past already. And everything, quote, turned out okay in the end. That's the direct translation from the Shiwata episode if you're interested. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, that's a really good one to talk about. And you can tell, I feel like watching Yoongi and J-Hope, they're nodding their heads like, yep, like this is all truth. And even though it was hard to say, because he also says it could have sounded negative because it was a difficult thing to talk about, like that level of honesty could have backfired on them badly.
Totally. Yeah.
But
they might have been disbanding, and it's just I think the short and simple answer is that they were really tired.
Yep.
Yeah. They had they've been working nonstop for years, and they were very burnt out. That's the short and simple answer.
Yeah. If whoever asked that question in the comments, if you want to go watch Jin, and then Tae did a great talk about that period of time on Suga's show. Go watch those episodes because Tae really dives into it quite a bit. He was so exhausted, like literally could not fathom another day doing it. And you hear other stories of other groups, and they're coming out and they talk like not a day off, and right. Most people couldn't do it. I couldn't.
It's really great. Like right now, for instance, their label mates, Tomorrow by Together, TXT, their leader, Subin, is on hiatus right now because he needed to take a break. And he actually said it's for his mental health and his, he was burnt out. So he needed a break. And now, also, when they finish the award season, the entire group is going on break, like an extended break, to spend time with their families and just take a break. And they are doing this because they feel like they know they can ask for it, because guess what? BTS did it. They can do it too. So like they're not afraid to do that.
Well, they've paved the way even for rest.
Yeah, even for rest.
Even for rest.
It also goes with like the K-pop industry works like it's crazy work. They might do they might do several comebacks in a year. Like if you look, like for example, Coldplay talk about this when with this like interviewer when he was like putting down BTS. Well, he was like, well, they have been doing this for less years than us, but they have more albums out than we do. And it's
one year they did 3.
Exactly. It's because usually Western artists take their sweet time to put an album together, while like BTS, was like doing comeback after comeback for years, and like might put like one or more, like would put like 2 or more albums out in 1 year. I mean, it's like if you look at the blog, it's like the first few years, it's like the rhythm that they're going, it's just insane.
Well, you have an anthology album to your name before you turn 30? That's an incredible amount of work.
That's an accomplishment.
A lot of
That's
musicians don't accomplish that until they're in like their 40s or 50s, at least, you know, like at least. But yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because this is just my perception of the different conversations that I've heard and watching him giving that speech on stage. To me, from what I've seen, it seemed more like it was the Machne line that was struggling the most, right? They were the younger ones. They were having a harder time. And Jin sort of kind of goes back because it's the rap line that does most of the writing, most of the producing. So they have all this extra stuff going on. And then you have Jin where he's more with the vocal line, of course, which are the Machne line. But it feels like a little bit like he was straddling in both sides. Like, you know, like the older guys, the rap line we've never heard any of them say they ever wanted to kind of take a break or stop, whatever. The Machne lines were the ones that were like, we were freaking, you know, exhausted, worn out, whatever. So I wonder how for Jin that was, being not only the oldest and feeling like he needs to lead and be strength for the whole team. But also how hard that would be to see the kids that you love going through that kind of difficulty. And at that point, how could he help them? They didn't have the power then that they have now. Like, it's not like he could have just said, that's it. We need a break. They need a break. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what that mindset was for him to have to watch that going on. I mean, I'm sure he was exhausted as well, but you see videos. If I look at videos now, people laugh and we say how cute it is. But when I see videos of those kids like falling asleep, sitting in the chair, or as soon as they get in the car, they're out, that breaks my heart because it shows how exhausted they were, that they can literally fall asleep anywhere if they're still for 2 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
I just wonder what that was like for the older ones to watch with the younger ones.
Yeah, because they were still deep in school. Jimin and Tae and Jungkook were still deep in school. BTS was getting off the ground. And I mean, I think that Jimin and Tae probably graduated not too long after they debuted. But Jungkook was in school for a while. He had to take a year off, actually, because of their schedule. So he didn't graduate when he should have graduated. He graduated a year, and he actually didn't even finish his classes. He ended up taking the test to graduate with that instead of having to complete all his classes because they just had too much going on. He was missing too much school. But that's hard. That's hard.
Isn't in the book that Jin was the one that got to the dorms and saw the kinds of horrible foods that they were feeding themselves. It was like there's a whole different like reference to a milkshake. Like that.
Yoongi's milkshake
For himself. And Jin is the one that he would like take chicken and put it in a blender.
That was the easiest way to get protein into myself.
Exactly. Which is, I think it's like, how on earth do you do that? And he's the one that arrived to the dorms and said, this is the end of this. I'm just going to cook for this kids. And I think that he probably never ever cooked in his entire life before.
I think he obviously learned.
I mean,
he probably
knew how to make some ramen, but you know,
his mom probably, I don't know.
You know how college kids are.
Didn't he say like in an interview that he kind of saw everybody else had a role and he was like, I didn't really have one, and that kind of became it. Like I became the person that kind of cooked, and then I think he also kind of helped organize and clean everything up, and he kind of took that role for a while.
For lack of a better way of saying, I think he saw a hole that needed to be filled. Don't make that weird, people.
Right, but that's what very intelligent, very observationally, astute people do. Is they go, okay, if this is a team, then how do I maximize my efforts to push the team forward?
Right,
and that's exactly what he, he's very, very smart.
Very smart.
And to be that smart, that young, yeah.
Well, like even the comedy that he does on all the variety shows, and thinking like you can't be dumb and be that good at that.
No.
You know what I mean?
He knows exactly what character he needs to play
In the moment.
And like I said, like when he started switching from, so in the beginning, we know this, that Jin was very different in front of the cameras. Like he started, they told him how to act at the beginning, because you go back, any of us who watch enough K-dramas, you go back, I mean, they're a little different now, but not super different. But if you go back like 10 years, like the idea of the tall, good looking guy is always like aloof. He's always got like a bad attitude. He treats everybody like they're kind of just a little bit below him. You know, that was the attitude that like all the leads had in like the K-dramas. And that's basically how they told him to act. They were like, act like an ice prince. Like you're better than, like you have to act like you look. And he tried. He tried, you know, but it was clearly not him, and it didn't make him happy to do that. And so like as time went on and they started to kind of like develop and evolve themselves a little bit more, that kind of kept falling away, and we started seeing more of himself. And when he would do vlogs and stuff, we could see his sense of humor from like the beginning. So more and more it started to like slip away, and the real Jin started to come out. But then also he started to develop this like personality that wasn't fake in as much as it was like a complete exaggeration, and that was the whole worldwide handsome thing. So like that is like it's a complete 180 from how he was at the very beginning. And but so it's him, but it's him like multiplied by like 100. So and which I think is really funny, but it's a character he puts on.
Totally.
He's so shy. It's a character he puts on to do what he needs to do in situations like variety shows.
He's acting.
He's
acting
because he doesn't really, and he knows he's good looking, but he doesn't think he's that. He doesn't think he's that important.
Right.
That's the humbleness that they all have. It's
Yes.
ingrained in them. I mean,
it's such a beautiful thing to know that really, truly, he's so incredibly humble. Like when you really, I mean, it's all overcompensation for what he feels he lacks. You know, it's like, I got to put this show on because otherwise I'm not going to feel comfortable up here. Right. It's a persona, just like everybody kind of takes on a persona. But he does that more. He does that in other ways other than just the stage. Because I think, like I have three sons, right? I love all of my three sons the same amount, but I love them differently, and I love different things about them, right? And so I parent each of them differently, and that's one of my favorite things about being on TikTok or whatever and seeing edits. And if you watch him with each member, he loves them in the way that they need love. Like he shows his appreciation and his love for them, each of them differently. Like with JK, it's the Tom and Jerry, right? It's the, I'm going to pick on you and I'm going to love on you and I'm going to whatever. And you know what I mean? Like he has his moments with each one. That's what a great parent does. But I think it's also what a great big brother would do, right? Is understand his brothers and what they need in the moment. And then I think when he feels like there's any kind of uncertainty or whatever, then he kind of steps up and puts on the act again, and he'll kind of take the attention that maybe others can't.
Yes, he takes the attention when others don't.
Yeah. One of my favorite run BTS episodes is when Yoongi's off in the background and he's in the forefront, and he says, "Let's talk about what's going on in Yoongi's mind," and then he does that whole, I want to get out of here, I want to be a rock, and then the cameraman is like, "Why don't you go and tell him?" And he's like, "No, because he's annoyed by this kind of thing." And so it was like, I just love that he was like, listen, I am not an idiot. I know it's one of my brother's needs.
Yep.
Value my personage.
Yes.
Like, I know what each one of my brothers needs. And that's why he's hit Yoongi. He says we were such good roommates because he knew he got what he needed to learn about, okay, how do I make this person, you know, how do I make this work, this relationship work? And he figured it out. And yeah, and then he's like, yeah, Yoongi, I could live with him forever. Like, he'd be my brother.
I think he lets like not. I think he gets all of them in different ways. Like with Namjoon, I think he just lets Namjoon like ramble, like go, like talk about whatever he needs to talk about. Blah blah blah. You know,
Verbal
like,
diarrhea. Yep.
I think he does that, and he and understands that. And then, like you said with Yoongi, he understands that he just wants to be a rock in the corner. And then with Hobie, I think he understands. Like they both just want to be like kiki crazy together. Like they just have fun and gossip. And with the Maknaes, like him and Hobie both, like they take care of them, and in, like you said, in different ways. But like with JK, he slaps them around, and it's great and it's fun.
Yeah.
And
He lets Jimin hug all over him and be all, you know.
And you know, he and Tae tease each other.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun, but he knows what he needs to do for each member, and I think they all do at this point to a certain extent.
Yes.
Because they know each other so well.
Yes.
But Jin is, I think, like that kind of with everybody, even though, which is an amazing talent for somebody as shy and introverted as he is.
I think it's difficult to be both a stable person for people and be a chameleon, yet he's both. He's able to change himself to fit the need of the moment, right? Like that's emotional intelligence. I mean, he's got that, but at the same time, like he's very like you know what you're going to get with Jin. You know who he is. You don't have to wonder, right? You know where he stands. He's going to be the more conservative minded one, and obviously not politically, but I mean just in the way he carries himself, the way he sees. I don't know that we're ever going to get the chapter 2 full out, that we got from the guys. He's just not that way.
More and more towards it every day. Like I don't know his slow descent.
You never know.
Ever since he did that 7 dance challenge, who knows? It's a different.
I love the editor from the baby episode, from the toddler episode, saying like, yeah, for our conservative Jen, like showing the knees, like this was the being cool,
He was like, I know that I'm hip. They're making me hip because they gave me the pants with the knees cut out.
But I was gonna say too, like with that little boy, we also saw again, like in each moment, he kind of changed his personality to match with with the kid. And then we saw a little bit more of his true self when they were fighting over the pizza. And he was like, wait a minute, no, I am not giving in to this. This is the one fight I'm winning with you, like
Leslie made a good point. Leslie made a good point. He was the one that took his shirt off first.
That's true.
Actually, and showed his tattoo first before anybody else did it.
Very true.
Technically, once again, Hyun will do it first.
Yeah, he did it first.
Pave the way for the brothers. Go and do it after me.
Yeah.
And the Maknaes are like, oh, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Green light. Green light.
Our shirts off.
Yeah.
JK and Jimin were like, we have been waiting.
Finally. Okay, so let me ask you this. We're going to pivot a little bit. What do we think about when he left for military? We've all seen the video, of course. What do we think that was like for him? What do we think it was like for the guys to see their older brother go?
I think.
Well,
earlier.
I think about the Shiwata episode where he says to Yoongi, "You should come. Do you want to shave it? Do you want to be the one to shave it?" Because I felt like in his body language and his tone, he was trying to make it like, yeah, we'll make this fun. It doesn't have to be a sad thing. And Yoongi did the cutest pout where he was like, I don't want to see my brother.
It was so cute.
Get his head shaved.
Yeah.
But he came anyway. And the I think, in my opinion, he was trying to embody Taehyung is going to do it first. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it well. And I will report back to you guys that everything's okay. Everything's going to be okay. He just had this feeling of like, I'm going to be strong.
Yeah.
He is a strong person.
Yeah, he is.
It's like what you said. It was kind of a little bit like a compass stomp, but like he had that attitude of I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it first. You guys are gonna see it's no big deal. And we're all going to be fine. But there was a little bit of that feeling of they felt lost afterwards, which just threw into right place, wrong person.
Right.
Which I'm not saying was all because of Jin. I don't think that that's the case at all. I'm just saying, you know, like
The timing wise.
Right.
wise, you know. But like they all didn't. I think that it didn't feel real to them until Jin went. Like they were like, okay, yeah, we have to go do this thing. Yeah, we're talking about it. We have to go do this thing. But it wasn't real until one of them actually went, and then it was like, oh, fuck, we actually have to go and do this thing. And then they were just thinking about it. Now they were all doing different stuff, but I think, you know, I think that it was probably in one way easy for him to go first because he was used to doing it. And then, but it also probably felt a little solitary for a while.
Well, I think Suga's reaction in the Monuments documentary that they showed, right? Like you had Suga joking and saying, I don't want to watch my brother shave his head. But then you see him in the documentary and he is just, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm just like, oh, that was not easy for them to see him go.
No.
Because it was like kind of a reminder that they were going to.
Yeah. They were like,
It's like, it's time, clock was ticking.
It's like suddenly it becomes real. And you know that that's your future and that's where you're going to go.
I mean, everybody remembers. Yeah, everybody remembers how they felt. I mean, I do as an army when he's in that black puffy coat and he's got his bag and he jogs into
runs.
Yes.
And then Namjoon says, Jin doesn't
feel good about it.
He's like, Jin doesn't like being cold, but then he says, but he always does well wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so, like, you could tell he's sad, but he's like, he'll do well. He'll do
God, thank God we can talk about this now when he's already back.
I know. Right?
The thing that I wanted to say though, he made a point. Jin made a point of being there when all of them got in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that goes to show the kind of person he is. He would take the day off and just go to see them off into this thing. Means like, and holding the youngest ones to kind of like welcome them into like, you know, it's not that bad, you know? It's like, you know, you're going to get through it. I mean, and now he's like making quickly like jokes about they still have 6 months ago. You know?
No one's getting out for a while.
Yeah, it's not soon. It's not soon. They got a long way to go.
And then we can all say that 10 years ago when we started the military service.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
It's been 10 years since I've been gone. Yeah, no. And I think that they mentioned several times over the course of last year, all of them at various times brought up Jin in conversation. They were talking about the military and they were talking about, oh, Jin's doing so well. You know, he's really showed us that it's going to be fine. And he's doing so well. Look at him. He's gotten this promotion. And oh, he's really looking, you know, healthy and fit and, you know, all that. And then Hobie went in and it was the same thing. They were saying the same thing about Hobie. They were like, oh, Hobie's doing so well. And, you know, it's going to be fine, you know? So like they really did take that comfort. Yeah. From the ones that went in first. So that's why I think it is actually a really good. First I was like, why didn't they all just go in at the same time? Of course we had no idea what they were doing throughout 2023. What they were preparing for us. We had no idea. So at first I was just like, I don't understand why they're not just all going at once. They said they were taking a break. And I realized, oh, okay, they're all releasing albums. Okay, fine, cool. But also, I don't think it would have benefited them to all go in at the same time because they kind of needed to stagger it a little bit. Some of them were more unsure than others, I think.
Well, and it kind of wouldn't have been fair to JK, who was younger, to have to go in at the same time as the olders just because they were going in. Like, you know, if he wanted to do something, he deserved to be able to take the time to do that. But I also think, of course, now as Army looking back on this whole solo era and all of that, while, yeah, you're right. We all maybe originally were like, I wish they'd just all go in and get it over with. But now we realize they each needed
why are you gone? Why are you gone? Yeah.
Yeah. They each needed this time to find themselves, who they are as artists. That only helps them know who they are as people. right? And then they go through this military experience, and they will all come back changed, similar but changed. And I think it's because they didn't go in all together. They didn't experience it simultaneously.
Yes.
I think that makes a huge difference.
Yes, for sure. But you remember, we saw so many people on TikTok that were like, "Oh my God, why don't you just go already? I love you, but go and come back. Go and
Yeah,
come back."
I remember that. Yep.
You know, people saying that, and it was just like I never really kind of bought into that at first. Like I said, at first I was like, "Oh, they should all go at the same time," but then I realized, no, that doesn't make sense because they said they were going to be doing solo stuff. But like, and then so all of last year, I remember just being annoyed every time I saw one of those TikToks of somebody going, "Just go already, just go." Be like, yo, they're doing shit. They're doing
I
shit.
think that's why, though, they kept saying over and over again, you got to trust us.
Yeah.
You got to trust us, okay? You have to trust us. And that doesn't mean, I'm not saying that they had control over everything, because obviously there were outside things that they couldn't control. But they were saying to us and our relationship, just trust us. Like, we're doing this in the best way that is going to be the best for us with what we have. We're working with what we got. So anyway, it's almost 8:00. Oh my gosh. People are saying goodbye.
Oh, for you.
This is incredible.
Like,
We're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Kim Sok-jin, we have 2 more weeks of JINCEMBER. Don't forget, guys, that we mentioned it in the live, but we have a Discord. Pretty much anything that's going on with Army Project 529, you can find out about in our Discord. You can find all of us in the Discord. That's the best place to take part in our community. Not that you can't engage on our social medias, but Discord's the best place where you can really take part in the community. So come and hang out with us. We do watch parties all the time, weekly watch parties. I host one every Thursday for the blog, the weekly content watch party, where we go over that week's blog and watch selected stuff from it. Patricia hosts on Mondays a watch party. It's Ginny's Kitchen right now, and aren't you guys getting ready? You're just about to start the season.
Tomorrow we start the season with V. We're going to watch the season in Mexico. So we're starting tomorrow. So if you want to see V speaking Spanish and being generally cute, just come over and watch with us.
Why would you not?
Me gusta mucho.
Yeah, and then we do various watch parties on Fridays. This past Friday, Stephanie hosted a Runjin watch party, which was a lot of fun. And we also ended up watching the fishing, the tuna fishing episodes that Hobie narrated.
The tuna that wasn't.
The tuna that was not.
Yeah.
After Runjin, and that was a lot of fun. So we do various, and when new stuff pops up, we usually do watch/listen parties for that as well. So you can come and check the events in the Discord, click that you're interested, and it'll let you know, it'll remind you when it's happening in your time zone. And just come and hang out with us. We have a lot of fun. You can also find info about our Ma City meetup that Katie talked about earlier in the live. You can find info on that in our Discord as well. How to register if you've not registered already. You can also find it on our website, ap529.com.
Yep.
My last thing I'm going to say is that week 50 drops tonight, midnight Eastern time. It is, like we said, week 3 of JINCEMBER. It is called Hit the Ground Running. And it is, as I said, about Jin coming home from the military. So we just talked about everything leading up to that. Next week, we're going to get to the part where he comes back. It's almost like that 18 months didn't happen.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, make sure you guys check that out. Once again, ap529.com/blog. That's where the blog lives. It happens every week. That's why we started this book club.
Yeah.
So
We might
join us.
read a book when they come back. Just
Never know.
because it's a book club.
You never know what crazy idea will get up in our brains.
No.
All right,
That's
Christina, you're next.
Yeah, real quick. For those that want to learn more about voting and streaming and charting for the guys, we have a channel in our Discord, Streaming, Charting, Voting, and drop in and get some more info on that. We also have a web page where I put all the little goodies and things that I learn up on the website, so you can learn how to do that as well. And if you would like to support us, we always have the free stuff. So the lives are free, the hanging out in the Discord's free. You can, obviously that will always be free, but as we do more and more things with the project and you'd like to support us, if you go on to ap529.com, which is our website, there's a purple button up in the right-hand corner that says support. And you can find out all the ways that you can support us if you would like to. And we definitely appreciate that. There's merch, there's Patreon, there's all sorts of stuff. So, and we keep adding things as we go. So thank you so much and if what you do is like and share and come and hang out with us, we also very much appreciate you. So please keep coming. You know, this has been a year, but we're not stopping. Why? The guys aren't stopping. We're not stopping.
One thing.
Continue.
Stop.
Yep. Okay, and then last but not least, somebody's asking website ap529.com. Okay, so last but not least, YouTube Live. That's where we're doing our Wednesday night streams. I know we kind of messed up last week because Katie was sick, Patricia was gone, and nobody else knew how to work YouTube. So we were just kind of effed, and we had to come back here.
The streaming thing.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing. So we were a little off Wednesday night, but we'll be back on YouTube this Wednesday night. Maybe more of us will get trained just in case, and meet us there. And then we'll have one more Wednesday night, one more Sunday night before the holiday break, and then we'll come back and all will be right with the world.
Indeed.
It'll be our birthday.
I think it's just one live we're planning on missing, right?
Yes.
This is one live, that one that happens to fall on Christmas Day.
Yeah, but we'll be in the Discord. We'll be hanging out. Come hang out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be hanging out, all right.
If you don't have anywhere to go or anyone to spend your holiday with, please feel free to come and check out the Discord because somebody's almost always hanging out there. We've done it on other holidays where we've posted up in our Bora Lounge and we just kind of hung out various times during the day. So I'm sure some people will be there to hang out and you can come and join. And sometimes we listen to music, we watch stuff before. Sometimes we just hang out and chat. So if you don't have any plans that day and you would like to hang out with some people, consider joining us.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Wonderful.
We're done.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Go take on your week.
Thank you. Bora hey.
Bora hey.